The spider zombie has gotten a huge makeover, not just turned into a high definition model, but it's a totally new look that they have done up for it. We get to see the high and low poly models as well as the animation of some movement and that mandible type of open jaws which really sets it apart. Just a note, people did say it reminded them of Blade 2 and that's where the designer did get some inspiration. So as we dive into listening to them, make sure to spider jump onto that like button and press it.
This is the spider zombie. I had the task of kind of updating the HD zombie, and I wanted to make him a little bit more insectoid, not quite alien. I did go a little bit further than I wanted to in the first one. This is the second variation that was kind of, I had to pull back, but I wanted to not necessarily mutate him. I just wanted to kind of show that he's got a little bit of, you can see the spine, because again, I'm looking for silhouette when he's cowering, moving back and around, and the jaws, I don't know if you can see, as kind of like a little split down the middle. Pretty much was watching Blade and second Blade where the predator jaws, everything else would kind of open up, and I have like a tongue that I want to pop out, which you guys will see, because again, I try to think when I'm creating these guys, I want to bring some like the story or what they might be about or how they might animate as well. Coming from my Disney background, I always try to think of that for my characters. How would they move? What would be some of the interest? And again, as a gamer, I want to make these things as scary as hell, especially in the dark, coming at you guys. So you're welcome. And then, you know, he's got a little bit of shorts. He's kind of like the Hulk. That's why I kind of made it green, the Bruce Banner homage. So, yeah, this is the high poly of it. And then this is the low poly version. As you can see, you could probably see the split down the middle of the jaw. I also carried it up into the top of the head, just to make it, you can see some of the skull, so it's almost kind of ripping apart. And brought more of the rib cage along with the vertebrae out to kind of separate, because he's pretty much a monster suit, just a skin bag. There's not a lot of different materials that you could play off of. So that's why I brought more of the bones in there. So I have blood, I have bone, I have the skin, and then very little metal. So it kind of allows me to play with some of the materials for a visual hit, which helps in the silhouette distances as well. So you can kind of see this guy. I made his eyes white with no pupils to make it kind of like you can't reason with a sucker. He has no soul, so you're dead. So this was fun. And the little extra teeth kind of hopefully will kind of wrap in and wrap back out and kind of scream with it. So we'll see. So he was fun.
Bear with me. And this is the spider zombie, and this Brett wanted the jaws to open up, so you know, this me opening up the jaws and the tongue and the teeth moving around, you know, I call it like, you know, more of like that predator kind of look, you know, or yeah. So it's kind of cool. The tongue moves. It's got quite a bunch of additional joints for sure. So yeah, making this was pretty tricky for me, you know, but it was a lot of fun. Really good learning experience.
Everybody, if you need to see that again, here I will click it back on. Yeah. I know a lot of you are not terrified enough, so there you go. You're welcome.
That's cool. Yeah, this is just more of like a little tech kind of thing, a little tech test, I guess you call it, where it's kind of moving around and a little tongue thing, you know. Yeah, really cool character. Brett did a good job.
I'm gonna release this clip as a bedtime story for those of you who need it.
Should be one more animation, yeah. I think oh, there it is, yeah. Little test animation, you know. Rawr, it kind of screams and does some creepy zombie stuff, waving his arms around, I guess. You know. Yeah. That's just kind of like a test animation, you know.
And isn't that amazing to hear how this zombie came into being and seeing what appears to be a second version of it, and seeing that jaw, which I suspect of most of us won't really get to see up close, well, at least not close enough to study it unless we're dead. Did you enjoy this little bit more in-depth dive of a zombie? If so, thumbs up, subscribe, and tell me what other zombie you want me to go in-depth with. See you next time.
Special thanks to the great patrons supporting the channel. If you would like to join the vetted community and support these videos, do follow the Patreon link.